Hey, all my kings and queens and in-betweens. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I've been gone so long. A lot in my life has been happening. My car basically, exploded. I'm being hyperbolic, but I need to get, all the tires done. I had a broken axle. It's a whole amount of tea I don't really want to get into. But, so I had to deal with that, and then I'm trying to find a new job, and I'm going to be shady for a second. This is my shady part of my video. Mama, I applied so many places. I've gotten 2 interviews. One place I went in, they're like, oh my gosh, okay, it sounds great. We'll set you up for an interview, call you later. It was like, didn't call me. I had called them, and they're like, okay, next week. Didn't call me, show up in person, like, oh, well, we've hired other people. And it's like, just say you don't want me, sis. And this is where it gets shady. It's like, everyone's been saying, like, you see all these business people being like, no one wants to work. Everyone wants unemployment. Fun fact, my old work, maybe I shouldn't say that for legal reasons. Excuse me. I've had trouble with unemployment, so not everyone was able to get unemployment. And when I went in my 2 interviews, they seemed to, like, really be into me, and then, like, I just didn't get hired. I'm like, I guess everyone wants to work. And back before the pandemic, like, you know, praying for all the people who are going through hard times trying to find work. I'm lucky I have a job and then a second income, but, like, be nice to have a better job with a second income. But, so I went in and, like, before the pandemic, I would get a job within, like, the first 2 places I applied. Like, I would do the interview, nail it, get the job. And now that everyone's like, we want to hire people, no one wants to work, I'm like, I'll work. And they're like, no. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm a good worker. I show up, and, like, I do my job and I go home. Like, isn't that enough for you monsters? But anyway, so that's the tea that's been going on in my life. Not fun tea, but it is the tea. Alright, so I guess we're just gonna go, you know, on with the show. So this is probably going to be my last video of this reaction, because I'm going to probably finish all of it, because I only have a little bit left. And then I'll maybe read comments. So let's get through it. If you're rich or you're smart, you're probably Asian. I don't know why he put that in. I guess he's trying to do stereotypes. If you're gay, then you're brave. All that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you're racist. Blaming capitalism. Like, that's the reason things are tough. Alright. If you're gay, then you're brave. Mama, being open and gay is the bravest thing someone can do. Being emotionally vulnerable to others who know, like, I'm literally born to be hated. Like, I didn't choose to be born a fairy, and I didn't choose to be hated. Like, I remember breakdowning and crying, wishing I wasn't gay multiple times. If I could just been a dude bro dude straight white boy, I would be happy with that. Like, internal struggle and strife in life is overrated. Being happy is 10 times better than having character. Yeah, people throughout time who've had character have created some of the most immaculate art pieces, music, movements, everything. I'm a simple person. I don't care. I don't care if, like, 10 years from now, I'm, like, the #1 recording artist for the United States. Like, I don't care if I'm the next Lady Gaga. Mama, I'd rather be basic and just a dude bro dude. And just straight as an arrow. And, you know, never have to struggle eternally with myself or in life. Suffering's overrated. Making art out of suffering's overrated. Sorry, I'm being a sassy queen, but that's how I truly feel. So, and also to put it back, like, I've messed around with DL dudes. They're literally, like, to the point where, like, they're hesitant to even send you a picture. That's how, like, scared they are of being exposed, because you have chances of losing your family, being judged in society, losing your job maybe. Maybe people won't come out and say they fired you because you're a gay, but I've had someone told me they wouldn't hire me if they knew I was gay. So, like, and I've seen shady managers who've done stuff because, like, cut hours because personal issues with other employees. So to act like someone wouldn't fire you because they don't like gay people and wouldn't come up with some BS excuse, that doesn't seem that far off. And plus, it is brave because men can't be emotionally vulnerable to save their life. Like, do you know there was a study done that men won't recycle usually because they perceive it as gay? To care about the planet where you might be raising children and leaving those children behind and leaving them a cleaner, healthier planet by recycling stuff that needs to be recycled, that's not what goes to their brain. They're like, that kind of seems gay, so I'm not going to do it. I almost think toxic masculinity is almost a debuff in someone's life. Like, you know, I'll give being born a queer this one thing. It's freed me. I don't care what people think. I don't care if people like me. I don't care about people think about my sex life. I don't care what people think about me as a person or my personality, if I'm too effeminate. I don't have to make choices where I'm wearing clothing. Like, I have pink shirts. Like, there's some men who literally won't wear pink because they're afraid of being perceived gay. Like, I don't have to get in needless fights because someone called me, like, the P slur for women's downstairs, or insinuate I'm sensitive in some type. I am sensitive. Who cares? So, in all senses, being gay is brave, because to be yourself is the bravest thing you could do in a society. Especially when you know that society won't love or respect you for being yourself. I would consider that is brave. And you know he is saying, well, let me go over it. If you're gay, then you're brave. All that I'm okay with. I'm guessing he is being side cheeky, being like, oh yeah, if you're gay, you're brave. But, like, I truly believe it. So I don't know if he's saying yes, he believes that, or he's being side cheeky, like, you're so brave. But, like, I would say with all the outer consequences, and people can even be themselves, and it doesn't have to do anything with sexuality, then yeah, I would say it's brave to be yourself and be a queer in America. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not so brave that I would be a queer in, like, the Middle East or in Russia. Mama, I am smart. I am a rat. I don't care. I'll stuff whatever feelings you have to stuff to stay alive. I don't care about keeping a sense of pride or ego. I'll do what it takes to survive. I don't care. So if I was in the Middle East, yeah, I would probably just be me so no gay with Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, but in the United States, like, I've had face strife, but I think it's worth being open. Because, like I said, there is a benefit that I don't have to, like, try to control myself, which I did so much before, where I try to act a little less gay, which, you know, the closet was clear glass. But, like, you know, there is a positive to not having anything to lose in a society that already hates you. Like, I don't have to put up a front. I don't have to put up a mask. Because imagine how tiring that is. Like, you know, like I said, with GL guys to have to do that. And, like, you know, with men have to do... I have had men tell me they've liked certain shows but won't say it because it'll be perceived as, like, effeminate or gay. Like, someone told me, like, oh, I like Bad Girls Club. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love that show. I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't really say that out loud. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks. You have to, like, restrict enjoying stuff because other men will perceive you as lesser than. And that means more to you than being yourself. That sounds like a prison to me. Because you only have one life to live, mama. That's a curse. Alright, so, like I said, I don't know if Tom's being facetious or he is agreeing with it, but most likely not, he's being facetious. All I'm okay with, but if you're white, the stereotype is you're racist. Everyone is racist. I don't care what gender you are, what color you are, what ethnicity you are, what race you are. If you grew up in a racist society, no one lives in a utopian society without race issues. Like, I'm racist, everyone's racist. And the reason why is because they did a study showing that people who aren't racist will still have, like, subtleties and subtle beliefs that are inherently racist. So, like, for example, like, if you're walking down the street and, like, you switch the sidewalks because you see, like, a black dude coming across, that is racist. But some people inherently, well, that's kind of like a strong example, but you get what I'm saying. Like maybe, okay, like a subtle thing, like maybe clutching your purse close to you. You might subconsciously clutch your purse close to you without even thinking, because we've been, like, I'm lucky I didn't grow up with racist parents, but I grew up in a racist culture, like a racist society in a racist town. So to act like I didn't subconsciously suck in some, like, it's like fear, like, you know, you're inundated with fear, like stuff you shouldn't even be afraid of. Sometimes you are. Like, the human mind is a fragile thing. So to act like not all of us, like, I don't act racist. I don't actively seek to be racist. I love all of God's children. But to act like I'm above programming, like, you know, like, for example, like cooties. Like, oh, boys have cuties, girls have cuties. That is a slight form of brainwashing where, in a sense, you are inherently disliking someone because of a made up belief. And you don't know where this belief came from. It's culturally passed down. Like, I'm sure if I asked my, like, grandpa or grandma, like, oh, was cooties a thing back in your day? They maybe would say yes. I don't know if it's, like, a recent thing. But that's a good example. Like, you know, boys and girls have, like, almost an inherent, like, rejection towards each other when they're younger, and then they grow out of it. But, like, because of the idea of cooties. So just switch out cooties for racism, and then the subtle, you might not be actively racist. You know, when you're a kid, you don't actively hate girls because you're a boy. But there is an inherent thing where, like, there's something wrong with them because they are different. So, like I said, like, no one is racist because your skin tone is racist. It's because, and, like, it even includes minorities. Minorities can have beliefs. Like, Bobby Lee, one of my favorite comedians, talked about his Korean father saying some of the most racist things in the world. And he himself is a minority. And it didn't stop at just, like, oh, brown people. It was other Asians he was racist towards. So, like, if you don't think, allegedly, I think that he was, but if, like, I know other Asians are racist towards other Asians, and they're like, well, you're a different type of Asian. So you could be inherently racist because of the culture you grew up in, just seeps into your brain. I mean, you're not actively racist, like, you don't actively hate these people, but you might subconsciously do things or pick up on things or believe things because of the culture you're raised in. So no, I don't think white people are racist because you are white. I think everyone's a little bit, like, on a scale to 1 to 10, let's say like a 1 on the racism scale, because we're all grown up. Like, we didn't grow up in utopian society where everyone's mixed and race is like a construct that's been destroyed and there's no problems with it. Like, we very much still, what wasn't like, oh my gosh, the civil rights, wasn't the movement like in the 70s? Like, some of our parents or, like, grandparents were still alive during that. Like, you know what I mean? So the idea that racism couldn't be passed down through generations when the generation out is even, like, 1 or 2. So, yeah. That's what I think when people say, like, everyone's a little bit racist. It's because we grow up in society that is based on race and hating other races sometimes. Even if you aren't yourself a racist. Blaming capitalism for the reason things are tough. Capitalism is the reason why things are tough. Why don't we have free healthcare in one of the richest countries in the world? Capitalism, because they make money off of people suffering and dying and the amount of money they have to pay. Like, why does insulin, I think the patent got sold for like $1 or something, and I think it costs like $7 to make. Why does one girl I worked with had to tell me she had to, like, figure out her new insurance plan just to pay for the medicine that keeps her alive. Capitalism? Like, I'm not playing this stupid game. If you don't think capitalism is a root of the evil of America, the greed, like, it just came out. Jen Psaki said this herself. The amount of money they spent in Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan, 20-year war, $300 million a day. So think of like a rich celebrity. Their net worth a day was spent in another country terrorizing them and didn't get better. So that's why I get pissed at people who are like, where are we going to get the money to pay for college? Where are we going to get the money to pay for health insurance? Where do we get money for endless war that costs us $2 trillion and $300 million a day? Like, piss off. And then you get this beautiful meme. When you tweet from an iPhone and sip on Starbucks, you're supporting what you stand against. You don't think you are, but you don't think, but you are. You don't think you are, but. This is literally what's curious. You live in a society meme. Like, oh my gosh, how stupid are you? Like, what is that? That's literally like curious. You believe in socialism, but you participate in society. Yeah, I like stuff. And you know what? Just because I want people to have free healthcare, free childcare, no wars, free education, I want people to be supported if they're poor, doesn't mean I don't like stuff. And just because I want regulations so you're not poisoning and polluting the planet and the people, doesn't mean I don't like stuff. I love my phone. My phone is my best friend. Like, I read manga on it. I watch YouTube. I scroll Twitter. Like, I text my friends. Like, this is my lifeline. And I love it. I don't care because I'm a loser. So. But I wouldn't not want free healthcare because I enjoy my phone. So that's literally like we live in a society meme. And that's so basic. And people who like... I screenshot a lot of comments, and the fact that people are giving Tom his props for the stupidest thoughts I ever seen is very concerning to me. But go off. Percocet addict. Percocet addict, don't donate money to pharma. Damn, dog. We're all afraid to speak the truth, and the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. Is that why everyone hates AOC? You're ashamed to be American because that's okay, because you're ashamed to be a blah, 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 blah. Like we aren't ashamed of, like, how half the population has reacted towards COVID. Okay. Sorry if I don't care if you're shaming me. I mean, literally... I've seen what makes you cheer. Your boos mean nothing. Like, that was stolen from Rick and Morty. But it's the truth. Like, I don't really care if these people dislike me. It's literally like that movie meme. Idiocracy. You know the movie if you've seen it. You're also fake. Oh no, the forecast said there'd be snowflakes. Well... I remember when people had a nuclear meltdown because a brown man kneeled from the national anthem. But yeah, we're the snowflakes. Okay. Can't make you see it your way. No way. Gasoline, propane, more flames. Oh no. We can all get along, but there's no stopping A. No, there's a real reason why we can't get along. It's because half of America is literally insane. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, but there's something wrong with them. Like, therapy is like the beginning. They literally stormed the Capitol, refused to take a vaccine that's free, take horse dewormer instead, literally refuse to believe in science unless it's science proving there's microchips inside of us to what video surveil us. Like, you know, Edward Snowden already gave up the tea, mama. They're already watching you. You didn't care then. Why would you care now? And plus, the idea of making like billions of microchips for like everyone on the planet, like, okay. No, these people live in La La Land. There is no talking to them. There is no communicating. The only way America gets better is that the left wing seizes power and shows them a good life. What free healthcare could do. What child care that's free could do. What having your child go to college without you having a mental breakdown because you don't know how you're going to afford it. This is the only way they'll learn that their way is wrong. Because it doesn't matter what lies they believe. It doesn't matter what QAnon conspiracies they listen to. Like, literally, someone in the QAnon conspiracy killed his kids. His young kids. Like, I think one of them was a couple months old. And the other one was a 2-year-old. With a spear gun. Because he believed that their kids have reptile DNA. Which he also believed it came from the wife. Which is a little bit sexist. Why didn't it come from you, dude? But yeah, he killed these kids. And now this woman has to know that she lost 2 of her precious lives because this dude's a psycho and believes in conspiracy theories. But yeah, no, it's somehow both sides are getting along. It's not like one side's trying to regain control of a mental asylum. Like people literally ingesting horse dewormer because they won't take a free vaccine because America. No, I'm sorry. There's something more wrong than that. Like, we can't get along because others don't live in a reality that is the same base as ours. Everyone's wrong. That's the real problem. Like how everyone says that on their side says that Hillary Clinton. This isn't true, but they'll say like they eat children and just name off Democrats. Like, how do you reason with those kind of people? Like, if someone said that to me, being like, do you know your neighbor eats babies? And be like, oh, okay, how'd you figure that? Facebook told me. Look, here's the whole page. And it's just like some random people making up some garbage. I'd be like, okay, sis. I would just think they're insane. Like, how do you not think that's insane? Especially when you don't have proof. And look, I'll say this. Everything that's bad has already existed and been played out. For example, child sacrifices. They're like, oh, they're sacrificing children and eating them. Mama, that was going on in the biblical period. People were sacrificing their kids. This is nothing new. Oh, they're drinking their blood for adrenochrome. Cannibalism, nothing new. Now, to say definitively, you know certain people are doing that, you're lying. And I see some Christians doing that. Look, I'm never going to be the one to be like, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. Especially towards other Christians. Unless I feel like it's hyper necessary. Which I think this is the one time. If you're a Christian spreading these lies, I would just think maybe lying isn't the tea. Especially where you can't prove it. So, don't spread lies about others. Especially when you can't prove it. I know God doesn't like lying. Like I said, I'm not the moral police. I don't have room to talk. I just thought it was something to bring up because I do see Christians spread these lies. Where they'll be like, I'm a Christian and this person eats babies. It's like, you have no proof for that, dude. Unless you have physical proof and you can prove it. I'll even take you seeing it with your own eyes. But you haven't even seen it with your own eyes. Alright. Can't make us see it your way, no way. Gasoline, propane, oh no more flames. We can all get along, there's no stopping. Everyone's wrong. They don't want to hear it, they're still talking. Soon enough we'll run out of options. Ain't gonna end until there's a coffin. Yeah, I know that isn't gonna end until there's a coffin because right wingers are literally threatening to kill politicians. That's what the insurrection was about. There's people talking about how Joe Biden isn't our president. And, you know, there's people talking about... Remember that woman got kidnapped, a governor? It was a female... I think it was in Massachusetts. She got kidnapped. Yeah, I wonder who's the problem here. Is it the left wing? No, it's the right wing. Right wing is 100% the problem with America and reason why it's so insane. That with phony politicians. We ain't gonna be friends till we squash it, I don't know we can make amends till we drop a snowflakes amount when talking. I don't get this idea of, like, after I just got done ripping on all these people, I'm somehow gonna play off, like, okay, now we just need to come together. Dude, you literally firebombed everyone through this whole song. Trans people, immigrants, saying that, like, the reason why America isn't better is because of capitalism. Like, we aren't gonna get along. We spew this garbage, dude. Like, is that too much to understand? So sorry if I don't want to get along with a dude that, like, fearmongers about immigrants and mocks trans people. Sorry, bro. Sorry if we aren't gonna squash it. It's not like you have the same goals as me anyway. Alright. And here's the ending. You're all so fake. Oh no, the forecast called for snowflakes. Well, you can't make us see it your way. No flame gasoline. Propane. No more flames. Oh no, no more snowflakes. Yeah, I wish there was no more snowflakes like Tom MacDonald and all his fans. Alright, now to read some comments. The chick in the video is transgender. Blair White. When you know that and watch it again, it makes it even better. Capitalized even. She's obviously awesome. Yeah, Blair, you know how you turn down trans people and that makes you obviously awesome? But these probably be the same people who will call you a man when you go into the woman's restroom. But go off, Blair. Slay, Blair Queen. Bro, this is why I love independent artists. It brings like-minded, level-headed people together. New sub-fan. Like-minded. I agree on that. Level-headed. Mama, retelling lies out of school. Tom always starts off the rip. Attention spans are short these days. Thank you so much for your service. Believe me when oh. I don't know if that's towards low reviewer. Someone just called Tom's music fact rap. Gross. I would call it trash rap or propaganda rap, but facts rap, maybe twisted facts rap or hateful rap. I'm only going to comment on this one because of the ending, not because of the beginning. As a veteran, I'm red, white, and blue. Okay, I could get behind that. Only racists see race. I don't know if he means that as, like, if you're putting out the problem of racism, then you are part of the problem for racism, or he's talking about actual people being racist. But I think it's the first one. And note, these are all comments I took off other people's reacts, and some of them have like 500,000 views. Mama, I deserve those views more than you. Your commentary is basically being like, I love Tom, licking his boots. Tom, you're so great. I love it when you're like mocking oppressed people and like speaking right-wing talking points. Oh my gosh, this is the best facts rap in the world. I'm a 50-year-old white metalhead who leans heavily conservative. Yeah, I wondered, probably because nothing ever affected you because you're probably a white dude that grew up in an age where white men were basically idolized. Heavily conservative but appreciate all kinds of art. This gives me the vibe of like, I'm a centrist. I listen to all sorts of type of news. I even listen to liberal news like Tim Pool and Fox News. I'm a centrist. It makes me smile and get excited when I see artists who can fiercely speak the truth in his art, and so many appreciate it. Fearlessly speak the truth.